And gods around, beware, prepare, it's dangerous, they'll linger in the dark. Climb from below, temples and tombs will fall down. Explore the realms, what is meant to be, take it all. Obey, hear the voice of God, and the best come to your sacred land. Make way to the afterlife. What was once your palace, now your grave. Awaken your soul, dive and devour the Red Sea. Take control and drown the enemies. Across the vast wild desert, move your feet along to the rhythm of the sand. Rise and sharpen up your spear. Aim your bow, make them bow down in fear. Chaos and new beginnings, find your destiny in the magic and the omen of the mind.
Hey, to have peace, yes, Lord, there must be strife. Hour to see the end of life. I accepted death, my eyes are open. I read and told them there's a light. Eternal life awaits me, yes. No one can dare deny me. I'll gladly give my life. All my people in my kingdom point the way. There's a small price to pay. To God to pray every day. To the promised land, I understand the higher the highest height. And the lower the lowest depths. I'm not afraid of my last breath. Life is nothing but a test. May the gods only know what's next.
Alarms, hear the voice of God, and the best come to your sacred land. Make way to the afterlife. What was once your palace, now your grave. Awaken your soul, dive and devour the Red Sea. Take control and drown the enemies. Across the vast wild desert, move your feet along to the rhythm of the sand. Rise and sharpen up your spear. Aim your bow, make them bow down in fear. Chaos and new beginnings, find your destiny in the magic and the omen of the mind.
My eyes are open, eternal morning. The crown is golden, I have been chosen. My eyes are open, eternal morning. The crown is golden, I have been chosen.
Awaken your soul, dive and devour the Red Sea. Take control and drown the enemies. Across the vast wild desert, move your feet along to the rhythm of the sand. Rise and sharpen up your spear. Aim your bow, make them bow down in fear. Chaos and new beginnings, find your destiny in the magic and the omen of the mind. Wake up, sundown, creatures and gods around. Beware, prepare, it's dangerous, they'll linger in the dark. Climb from below, temples and tombs will fall down. Explore the realms, what is meant to be, take it all. Obey, hear the voice of God, and the best come to your sacred land. Make way to the afterlife. What was once your palace, now your grave. Awaken your soul, dive and devour the Red Sea. Take control and drown the enemies. Across the vast wild desert, move your feet along to the rhythm of the sand. Rise and sharpen up your spear. Aim your bow, make them bow down in fear. Chaos and new beginnings, find your destiny in the magic and the omen of the mind.
Hey, to have peace, yes, Lord, there must be strife. Hour to see the end of life. I accepted death, my eyes are open. I read and told them there's a light. Eternal life awaits me, yes. No one can dare deny me. I'll gladly give my life. All my people in my kingdom point the way. There's a small price to pay. To God to pray every day. To the promised land, I understand the higher the highest height. And the lower the lowest depths. I'm not afraid of my last breath. Life is nothing but a test. May the gods only know what's next.
Alarms,
What is going on, Governors? Chiscool here, and today I'm joined by Plato Gaming to cast Ark of Osiris League, and this is the second round. Plato Gaming, welcome, dude. How are you?
I'm doing well, Chiscool. Thanks for having me. It's going to be a very interesting game. 60 GT up 1-0 here, so one EE8 is playing for their playoff lives, and 60 GT playing to repeat.
That's right. I don't know how many GT has won in a row at this point, but it's not a small number. They're looking to get another win on the board. Whereas, hey, we've got an underdog that's had a hell of a season. So let's actually jump in game real quick to look at how that season has shaped up for one EE8. Because let me tell you, they have been the underdog by power and scored win after win. At almost 3.7 billion power, they beat the former champion, Glory of Vietnam. But they weren't done. They then beat SV68 at 4 billion. Now, granted, the power differential here is not that big, but you know, the underdog story is just something that people love to talk about. And then AO77. They win there. Now, in that case, they actually had a significant amount of power working in their favor. But against GT,
that's another task for sure.
Does anyone have power advantage against them? I don't think so.
That's definitely something we saw last match, Chiscool, where one EE8 seemed to be outmatched and outpowered in these 1-to-1 mid brawls, and it felt like wherever 60 GT wanted to go, they could go. So we'll have to see if one EE8 they did try some sneaky strategies last time. The master strategies trick not working to their favor. We'll have to see if they could perform a little bit better, especially in the opening, where they went a full mid strat, but then their obelisk started getting taken by 60 GT, trying to clean up that mid and that early game strategy to not be so behind in the beginning of the match.
Yeah. So if you're 1E88, 25,800 to 44,400, you got to make up like 19,000 points here. How do you do it? I mean, if it's not arcs, I don't know. They got to find a point of leverage here. You typically either outmaneuver or outmuscle. So if you can't outmuscle GT, you have to outmaneuver them. So I'm hopeful to see like what trick they have up their sleeve. My understanding is that there's a bunch of former OV players in here.
Yeah, that's what I've been told. I've been told that there are a couple OV players, so I'm sure there's going to be some shift of the strategies here. Last game, we said that we didn't want them to play standard, but they were playing a different game last game with some of their strategies here, Chiscool. Yeah. But yeah, we'll have to see if they're able to come back and if they're able to put a dent in 60 GT, or if 60 GT will be dominant and win their fourth Osiris League trophy here.
I mean, that's what they're looking to do. And there are trophies that go out. I don't think it's for regular league, is it? Is it just the Grand Prix? Where they, or the,
I think you get a medal, right?
Do you, I mean, there is a trophy that does get distributed. I just don't know when it happens. They had the Grand Prix. That was pretty cool. And then there's the Grand Championship. So the battle between, you know, all the champions will happen after this. Yep. So the best of all the realms. And they play in a test server. So at that point, your equipment is off the table. Your commanders are off the table. Everybody has access to the same thing, which is pretty cool. I'm actually going to now jump us into the matchup. I'm going to get set up for that. Man, I'm just thinking through, like, what do you do? I mean, to make it against GT is already an amazing accomplishment for Evil Empire.
Yeah, it's tough. Mid fights, you could call that a wash, right? Because 60 GT, they're open fielding in KVKs and in these mid fights is just so dominant. I haven't really seen them lose a mid fight. This feels like all of Osiris League. So I think it would have to go down to what EA did in previous matches, and maybe sneaking an arc capture, or when 60GT thinks they're safe with the arc, maybe using master strategies effectively to actually capture that arc. Something like that would definitely put them in the right foot. They provision a lot, I believe. I think 1EE8 is actually the top provisioner in Anubis, or one of the top provisioners. So provisions some form of maneuvering would probably be 1EE8's gateway to winning this match, and just holding down their own structures 100% is going to be their gateway.
Yes, sir. 100%. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to this. 4.3% of votes for 1EE8, 95.7 for GT.
That is rather lopsided in terms of the votes.
It sure is.
Well, that means 1EA have nothing to lose here. So they're going to be playing loose. They're going to be playing free. And hopefully, they pull something out and, show the Rise of Kingdoms community that they're here to play.
Yes, sir. 1 minute and 15 seconds till the match begins. Whew. I mean, I'll align with you on this one. So to win this match, 1EE8 needs to try like master strategy, port in, get the arc situation.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, they need to sneak an arc that GT has already grabbed. I think that's how they do it.
Yeah. It's tough. Or maybe they have some next open field tech that we don't know about that helps them in the open field battles, but it's just everyone's VIP 18 best gear in 60 GT. It's just tough to imagine them lose a mid fight straight up. So they'll definitely have to trade objectives and try to outmaneuver 60 GT in this match.
Yeah. 100%. I'm hopeful to see what they can do here.
We'll have to see this opening for sure. The last opening was a disaster for 1EE8. So as long as they don't lose their obelisk, it's going to be better than last match.
Here we go. This is it. They're out on the field. Double C, cruising.
Hidden sentry used by 60 GT in between the obelisk and the desert altar of 1EE8 to the north.
Fast troops are on their way. Looking to capture the structures as fast as they possibly can. There's the EE8 sentry. Where'd it go?
Oh, it went to... This is a more stereotypical defensive desert altar. Scout the desert altar near the shrine of war and obelisk of 60 GT to the right or the east of the map.
So, yeah, I mean, this gives you vision to like, okay, are they coming? But they got to be coming, right? Like you got to count on it, right? Like they're coming all the way to the desert altar. They have to be, right?
Yeah, I think it's just to see how many are coming, so then they could kind of estimate how many to send to the desert altar compared to the Shrine of Life. See if there's going to be a cavalry rally going towards the obelisk, so that it kind of indicates that, oh, we should defend our obelisk a little bit. Like, it gives them a little bit of knowledge, but yeah, it's kind of standard that there are going to be people coming towards your own desert altars. So it is interesting though that both teams went topside for their respective centuries. So I'm expecting a lot of fighting around this area.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just thinking through, like, how do you... I liked your proposal for how you change your strategy if you're 1EE8. Like, they don't do anything by accident. So they put this sentry here, which means they're going to change what they do based on what they learn, right? Like, why put the sentry if you're not going to change what you do? So something is going to change about their strategy based on what they see. And like, what do they see? A lot of people coming.
A lot of people.
A lot of people getting busted by this sentry.
This 60 GT sentry is getting so much knowledge to the south of the 1EA obelisk. They see all these marches walking towards the Shrine of Life.
Yeah.
This is a huge placement.
Let's see if GT adjusts, though. Like, if you don't do anything with the information, what's the point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, so GT is getting this information. So what are they doing with this information? Huge force swinging around to push on Sky Altar. Yep, there it is. People are changing course to go to the Sky Altar. Yep. One player seems to have changed course. So they, and oh, here goes Leopard, changing course again. And you know it's changing course because of the trajectory they're taking, I think.
Yeah.
It looked like they were going one way, now they go another way. So, yep, another one. Look at that.
They're wrapping around the pyramid over here, which means they
really
were
seriously.
near this. Yeah, for sure.
Wow. Okay. That is pretty exciting. GT poking. Desert Altar fight about to begin, but also I really want to keep my eyes on this Sky Altar fight. Really good sentry placement by both teams. I don't know that I saw... I mean, I guess... Okay, so I guess what 1EE8 learned from this sentry down there is that GT might be weak at the Sky Altar, so they went to Sky Altar.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't know that GT knew that they were going to Sky Altar.
Exactly.
Wow. Whoa. Obelisk rally. Hold up. Okay, that's not going to go anywhere. Wait, what about this obelisk rally? Everybody wants a piece of some obelisks. Holy moly. I think they're going to be fine. Yeah, people are porting it. It's going to be fine. All right. We don't need to watch the obelisks.
One EE8 strategy, actually, Chisco, I'm not sure if you saw, but they had a rally going towards the 60 GT obelisk. They broke it near the pyramid in between the Sky Altar and the Desert Altar, and it actually had a garrison captain with the rally. So they were definitely trying to play for the Sky Altar, but the 60 GT actually killed the garrison leader. So there won't be a garrison leader, I believe, for the Sky Altar for a little bit, even if they capture it. So 60 GT, even though it looks like they're getting pretty overwhelmed in the Sky Altar area.
Yeah.
At least they killed the garrison, so it'll be a lot easier to capture back for 60 GT. But 60 GT, it looks like they have full control of the Desert Altar of 1EE8. So that's the trade that 1EE8 said. We said that they needed to trade objectives here. But wow, 60 GT actually getting first tap for this Sky Altar. Will they have a garrison in here? And it might be a little bit troublesome. No, 1EE8
double C is not the captain you're looking for.
Yeah, I was clicking the 60 GT marches. Maybe they had a garrison captain nearby, but I think 1EE8 doing the same as 60 GT, just killing the garrison captains as soon as possible.
Yeah.
If you see them out in the field. So
this is really interesting. So 1EE8 is not defending this. They're disrupting it, and they're like, all right, we're out. Which I feel like if that's what you're going to do, what was the point? Like, if you're not going to get the first capture points and stick around for that, you should have just stayed at your own altar and made sure they didn't get those
Desert Altar, yeah.
Right? So, like, while I really like the information they used to make this attack, I don't think I like the timing of what they need to do here. I appreciate that they need to get to middle, but what I'm trying to convey is, like, I mean, I guess, okay, so to flip this around, I guess if they thought they really were going to get the jump on that thing and they were going to have overwhelming numbers, maybe they thought the situation would be better than it was, you know?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But then they're like, we just have to bail now. We have to bail. But what they need to do is swarm this Boudica. That Desert Altar needs to drop in the next minute 30. They can't let GT get these first capture points.
If 60 GT gets these first capture points, it's going to be such an uphill battle for 1EE8 here. It looks like they are bringing a lot of pressure from towards this Desert Altar. I think they saw that the Sky Altar was just too hard to reinforce on their end. So they're sacking the pressure they had in the Sky Altar. I'm expecting the marches that just died to kind of rotate over to the Desert Altar in response here and then go mid. We'll have to see. This Desert Altar is getting low from 60 GT's side, and I think that means 60 GT is starting to rotate mid. I'm seeing some of the first marches of 60 GT actually start rotating at the 5-minute mark. So
we know those players who sacrifice their marches are rotating mid really early. So
yeah.
The 1EE8 folks, they're going mid early. really early.
Mhm.
We know that's a part of their game plan. Oh, look at this rally running here. But look at all these GT players gummed up over here. Now, in fairness, there's still 440 left before arc.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like time to go home, take a leisurely walk, take the dog for a stroll, right? And then grab a snack, then make your way to the middle. You got some time. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, we saw, I think it was last game as well. We've casted a couple games together where just because you're there early doesn't mean you necessarily win the arc. If you push too early, or if you kill your opponent's murder ball too early, sometimes it gets to regroup and have the second wind. So we'll have to see what 1E8 does with this pressure. I like that they're positioned just below the Temple of Osiris and, taking this offensive positioning. But as we said, 60 GT, super hard to win mid against. We'll have to see if this early positioning will actually benefit 1E8 in this situation.
Doesn't look like GT is making a big commit to mid yet.
Yeah, well, I'm not too sure where their marches are.
340, and they're like, hey, we'll get there when we get there. Okay, it's gonna be fine.
We see Leopard 5 March swarming the Shrine of Life, so they're definitely trying to get that movement speed down, the troop health down for this mid fight. It looks like actually there are a couple of 60 GT marches trying to cut off 1E8 marches.
Really?
From just like two players from 60 GT to the north, just keeping 1E8 honest and slowing down at least some marches on their end, at least whittling them down before they get to mid.
Yeah.
So
I like this Shrine of Life grab. I think this is a really cool play by Leopard, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, 5% health, 5% march speed. In fairness, though, Leopard's got some good marches that are now not in the middle. So
I think he's going to be relegated to that stall duty that 60 GT seems to be doing. We got TC as well doing the same thing. So maybe a bit of like a 10 march murder ball in the back to snipe some of the arc carriers. Because the thing is, if you do have this forward murder ball positioning, sometimes you're baited into fighting closer towards opponent's side, meaning that your arc carriers in the back tend to get exposed. So there is some room for a 60 GT to maybe snipe these arc carriers if 1E8 aren't careful enough here.
Dude, I feel like Hashtag has expressly been given that role of baiting the fight. He's just running around. Like literally, hey guys, come hit me. Now, granted, they don't know that there's a sentry literally on top of their position. By the way, if you're taking notes on where to put down sentries, I mean, this is basically textbook, I think, at this point, for where they ought to go for the mid fight. Both teams aligned on that meta. Just, okay, I want vision of your mid fight. Not on the temple, but kind of at the mouth of the canyon into the temple.
Yeah, for sure. Because at this point, your murder ball should be closer to the temple where you could see with your marches where the opponent's murder ball is. So for these sentries, definitely just want to see how many more people are coming into the opponent's murder ball and seeing where they're coming from. So maybe you could disrupt some marches as 60 GT has been doing here.
Yeah, I mean, I think the math behind that disruption is like, if I bring 5 marches to your backline, I will disrupt more than 5 of your marches. That's the only way that math is favorable, right?
And it's also 60 GT marches too, right? If it was like a normal player that, gets melted by getting swarmed, but these marches are so tanky. They're super strong. So I think that gives 60 GT leverage to do things like this where, maybe other teams would not have. So total vision used by 60 GT though. So it looks like, and dust up. It looks like the mid fight is starting. 60 GT going into 1E8.
Half of E8 still just sitting there.
Yeah. I kind of like the call for 60 GT to go in. Usually what I find is if you get the call to go in, you have more of the initiative because your players have to walk in. Meanwhile, 1E8, some of the players might have been, not ready for this push. Meanwhile, 60 GT, all of their players going in at the same time. And I think that's going to prove the difference in this mid fight.
That's a pretty one-sided sad facing. I mean, I'm zoomed out so you can see it.
Yeah, the sad face train for 1E8. My goodness. It's streaming sad faces for them.
Bro. Oh my gosh.
Arc tapped by 60GT, so it is on their side as well.
That one EE8 River of Tears. Good Lord. I mean, look, okay. I don't know what to say. That's not just sad faces. That's a River of Tears, bro. That is big GG's
That
in that
is
mid-fight.
I mean, that's exactly what we said,
hold on.
60GT.
This is all part of the plan, Plano. This is all part of the plan. You ready? Here's what happens next. They get them on the back
let's hear it.
swing. All right? That's how they have to do it. Oh, by the way, GT has a Shrine of War and a Shrine of Life in advantage and 3 altars. GG. Holy moly.
They're winning the structure game. They're winning the mid fights. It was interesting to see while you're looking at mid. I saw, Leopard, he went to Shrine of Life, and we were wondering what he's going to do with the 4 marches. He actually waited around the desert altar, waited for a rally to hit the desert altar, and swarmed down the desert altar with the rallies. So Leopard's marches, even though they weren't mid, they're able to disrupt the Shrine of Life and the desert altar. Is huge value for them, and they won mid fight anyways. So
yeah, pretty much everywhere you look, they're kind of trading positive. And that's why the map looks the way it does, right? Like, huge amount of trade positive. They drop down Vision on the left side of the map, which is interesting because where's the arc going? The arc's going the other way. But their Vision is on the left side now. I guess they figure they already own a couple altars over here, so they're chilling. Wow.
Yeah, the altar cap is kind of disrupting the 1E8 sneaky arc cap because it's just so much. It's a vision cone directly in the line of where 1E8 would want to walk. So they're opting into trying to recapture this desert altar, but it's getting topped off really, really well by 60GT.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the direction that GT went, and we've seen them do this a couple times now, they forward send in the direction the arc is going, and they backward send in the direction the arc is not going. Does that make sense? So they protect their own side altar in the direction the arc is not going, and they attack the enemy altar in the direction the arc is going. I actually think this whole thing was very much planned. Like, okay, we know that these guys are going to try to take the arc on the backswing. So what we're going to do is have a rally and Leopard get control of their desert altar so that we have them on the back foot and they can't just roll up to our side of the map. Does that make sense?
Actually, yeah, that's super smart, actually, when you think about it. Just making... Sometimes the best defense is offense. So having the engagement early so that they can't even engage your arc carrier is really interesting from 60GT.
Wow. I mean, and GT's still got enough presence to just swarm this halter back. Just really brutal. They don't have a captain in there. Henry is not the captain you're looking for. This arc is looking pretty gone. On their way. Do they hold
now,
it?
I don't know if CCGT holds it. That made them so dominant.
I don't think so. I think it's a mistake to hold it for them. I think the more arcs they hold, or in other words, the fewer arcs there are, the more window they give 1EE8 to do something unexpected and impressive.
That's true. The more you inflate the points, the less the value provisioning is, right? Because if there's more points, there's only a certain amount of points you can get from provisioning, right? So if they inflate the scores, they're probably gonna just do the thing where they have everyone ready, they have the structures good to go, and then once the timing's right for them, they have complete control of the tempo of the game. So
I agree. They've got the arc again. They are chilling. I feel like they should wait till they feel like their timing is right. But once they do, I think they should cap it. I really don't think you should wait. If they hold arcs, then every single arc where 1EE8 pulls a rabbit out of the hat is worth more relative to the total score.
Yeah.
They just can't afford that. Well, I don't know. I guess GT can afford whatever they think they can afford. But, it'd be preferable for them to... I feel like just run up the scoreboard. It's funny. I was, looking at the chat and chat's like, please, I bet literally everything on 60GT. I feel like they were one of the safest places to put your coins all season.
Yeah, and the thing is, they're the only favorites um, still in the running.
No
All
way.
the other favorites. 1V was knocked out. CG89 was the Eye of Talent favorite for that round. They got knocked out. Um, the for Sobek, the leader just lost to 75. So
Yeah.
60 GT is hoping everybody
Dude, I
gets to
love
cash
that.
in.
That's
Yeah,
what makes
this
Arc
season.
so good. Is
This
when,
season
I
has
mean,
been
look,
so crazy. Yeah.
as cool as it is to, have teams that are staples to the game mode, right?
Mhm.
I feel like it's even cooler to have upsets. 100%.
For sure.
Upsets are what make the league so exciting. And it's funny because every time you think, there's no way that this team could lose, it happens. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So this is exciting to see.
It happens to every team except for this season. It looks like 60 GT. The closest thing was that K244 match. So close, 500-point differential.
Can
But
you
ever since
imagine?
then,
That was
yeah,
single elimination too.
it was
So
single elimination.
that
So
would've been it,
60 GT was 500 points away. It was actually just one altar that they ended up tapping near the end of the match.
no way.
Yeah, so
Oh man.
it was that close, just go.
That
So
close. Unbelievable. Wow.
it does look like 60 GT are actually holding this arc. So
Yeah, and one EE8's like, all right, fine, I'm taking your altars, bro.
yeah,
I don't know
they're
that
controlling
Guan is
3
the captain
altars.
they needed, but Guan you, baby.
One thing
Guan
60
Yu.
GT does super well, Jiskel, is you know how in rallies you usually hide the garrison captain for the forward structures you're trying to capture in
Yes, sir.
the rally? 60 GT swarms down those rallies so that you can't get a garrison captain,
Oh, smart.
making it easier to capture, to recapture the altars. So they really know how to, I guess, target the garrison captains, which makes it really hard to capture structures for them and hold them. But it actually looks like one E8 with a Guan Yu garrison is actually holding pretty well here. So, hey, maybe Guan Yu, decent.
Guan Yu, the new meta. AoE silence, baby. Get him.
But it looks like it will go down before they get points. But at least it's denying points for 60 GT. They're actually up 10 points per minute, 450 to 440.
Yeah.
All things considered, this isn't a bad spot for one EA to be in.
No.
They lost the mid fight,
The altars,
but
bro. Let's go.
yeah,
Wow. Hey, look, GT, we told you it'd be a good idea to capture the arcs, run up the leaderboard. I mean, I'm sure they're like, bro, we're fine. And so,
Yeah.
I say this only tongue in cheek, right?
Sky Altar is going to drop for one EA8, so they're that's where the 60 GT presence for the Desert Altar is. They're like, oh, we'll just take the Sky Altar instead.
Yeah. I mean, I won't purport to know more than GT, right? Like their instincts on what to do is better than my instincts, right? But, from an outside perspective, it's like, hey, so, what about just capping those arcs, run it up? They did get another altar while we've been sort of tunnel vision on this one. I mean, I keep thinking, oh, just stay here another couple seconds. Guan Yu's going to pop and then I'll go somewhere else. But like, this is
It's
the Guan
1
that never
HP.
ends.
There you go.
Yeah, there it is.
That was
We've
that was
been
probably the
relieved
best.
of having to spectate that particular structure.
That was probably the best Guan Yu garrison I've seen ever, Chisco. Like,
That may be
it
the best
lasted
Guan
for
Yu garrison
so
in
long.
the history of Rise of Kingdoms, actually.
Yeah, it lasted for so long. That's insane. So they definitely got their value there, even without a garrison captain. But now they are down 3 altars. We'll have to see how they recover. Sky Altar for 60 GT safe, so they have to recover their own Sky Altar. But do they have a rally on it? I don't see a rally for them. So
This sort of give and take of structures is actually extremely common for Ark of Osiris. And let me just walk through that for a second. So the team that gets the Ark runs in, and then they're weak because they lived through the mid fight but didn't refresh. Meanwhile, the team that got sad-faced at mid comes in full strength and they take all the buildings, which one EE8 did. But then the Ark team comes back refreshed and they take all the buildings, which is what's going on now. 3 buildings for GT. So this is almost like textbook what you would expect to happen when one side takes an arc. Literally no surprises so far. And if there's no surprises, it is not a good thing for 1EE8. They need to be pulling rabbits out of the hat like every 10 or 15 minutes.
Arc actually captured by 60GT, meaning that they are up by almost 5k points here. We'll have to see what 1EA does for this next mid fight. I think this is probably one of those must capture arcs for them, losing that first one. If they let 60GT capture another one, then this game is going to be very hard for 1EA to come back from. But as we said, 60GT, they're going to win the mid fight. Like, it's pretty much guaranteed that they're going to win the mid fight. And they do so well in terms of defending the arc once it's captured. We'll have to see. Will 1EA do the unthinkable and steal an arc from 60GT? I think that's going to have to be the play for 1EA.
I mean, that's when it's got to happen. I just think that GT is not really leaving a good window for that to happen.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? Like the routes they run when they take the arc back seems so intentional to me to prevent that situation. They're not overcommitting to the defense of the arc and the escort of the arc. They're committing to disruption on the side that 1EE8 would have to attack from. And I think it's just really an elegant solution to the strength that EE8 has been using.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for 1EA. I mean, I'm really impressed with their structure game, holding against 60GT, even taking some desert altars from 60GT. We'll have to see if that could somehow translate to this mid game, because that last mid fight was just so one-sided, Chiskel.
I mean, look, yeah, that was really brutal. No way around it.
5 minutes left until arc spawns. We'll have to see if people start to rotate here.
Yeah,
it actually
I'm
looks
watching
like
this Sky Altar attack. Is there anything going on somewhere else we should get a peek at?
Desert Altar from 60GT, but it looks like they set marches that were going mid to the Desert Altar. So it looks like both teams, 1E8 were opting more towards a structure focused approach, and 60GT actually responding, sending their own marches to reinforce their own structures here. So there isn't actually any team, from what I see, actually rotating mid with most of their forces. It seems like it's going to be delayed mid rotation from both teams. But yeah, 60GT, three altars here, up by 590 points per minute to 440 to 1E8. So
it's pretty big points per minute. Chat, by the way, I'm just seeing they're catching up to that mid fight we were casting. The stream's on a very long delay, everybody. And the comment I'll highlight is, that's a violation. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. 60GT just owning the board here.
Yeah, that was, if you see that kind of sad facing in KVK, it's like, yeah, this KVK is over type of vibe. But we'll have to see if they're able to come back. And I think one of the things that went really well for 60GT is that since they engaged into the murder ball of 1E8, as you said in live, some 1E8 marches in the back were actually not fighting for a little bit there, for like 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, but those milliseconds mean so much to mid fights. Just making sure your marches are doing something at all times is something that you can 100%, like, that's something you have to do in arc. So we'll have to see if 1E8 has the ability to win against 60GT, because they'll have to steal the arc somehow from 60GT.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see what happens here.
I have a lot of respect for the, I think, ability of 1E8 to execute plays that are, I think, far more complex than what most teams can do.
Mhm.
And so I'm hopeful that they can do something really unexpected. But I feel like the way GT is playing, they're just not leaving a window of opportunity for that to happen, which is going to make it really difficult for them. We do see good structure pressure from EE8 while getting ready for this arc fight.
Mhm.
I don't know. Do you think EE8 is going in on a building plan? Probably not, but they are going after a lot of buildings, like a big commitment here to getting some of these buildings.
Yeah, this desert altar has a lot of troops around it. That means that those troops will not be a factor towards this mid fight. But as we saw, they lost the mid fight so heavily. So maybe this is the trade that we were talking about, just trying to keep, 60 GT honest, where they have to decide, should we send more marches towards this desert altar? Should we send more marches towards mid? What's the options here? Instead of making it so cut and dry for 60 GT, go mid, go win. At least creating some form of adversity for them or some form of decision making. But if they were going to do that, I'd kind of want to see more of a commitment towards the structures. I feel like they're kind of double dipping towards this mid fight and the structure game, but we'll have to see if it pays off.
GT is just really doing a great job defending this building, by the way.
Yeah, this
so
desert
impressive.
altar. They just have double C's running straight to the desert altar, filling it, and then continuously just having people for this desert altar. I think this rally is going to go down. The rally went down. So they might actually be able to hold this.
Here. I think he needed to be swarming with that march, although it's not great to swarm with. I think he needed to swarm with this. But even then, it might not have been enough. They just haven't had too much time. That's incredible. That was a really incredible defense from GT. I mean, I know it doesn't make or break the game, but that kind of defense is just really...
If it was a closer game, this is how 60 GT won those K244 matches when it was 500 points. That would have been the difference in a close game like that. So that's how they've been so dominant. Just those little skirmishes, just holding the structure by a sliver, it's the same as holding a structure as its full health. You still get the same amount of points. You still get the same amount of benefits. So just knowing exactly how much to put as the fight is starting in this mid to the death used by 60 GT.
GT to the death? Now watch this. No abilities used from one EE8.
That's true.
They have something up their sleeve. 100%.
100%.
I feel like if you're 1E8, you almost have to plan to lose the arc and then take it on the backswing. So I think that's what they're doing. That's how I interpret this play. They're like, all right, yeah, you're going to get this arc. Like the first arc showed we can't do anything about that. So we're going to weaken all your marches somewhat and then try to take it on the
a little bit. We're going to make them yellow instead of white.
Yeah, I mean, for some of the marches anyways.
There's a couple of red ones in there, so
yeah, okay.
But yeah,
we average.
I think 60 GT is smart enough though to see that they use no skills.
Yeah, they know.
So I think it's going to be a pretty precarious one for 1E8 to take.
Yeah, let's see how GT moves. Right, we saw them what they did last time: forward, arc side, backward, opposite. Do they do that again? No.
They have a huge murder ball around this arc.
Yeah,
so.
because they know. They actually, they're like, okay, they didn't use any skills. They're going to make a play on the arc again. Yeah, I mean, GT is just not leaving the door open for sneaky stuff to be done, which is really clean. It's just clean decision-making and gameplay. That's what that is.
I will say, though, 1E8 do have control of the Shrine of War for 60 GT. There is potential for a master strategies around this area. Hold the Shrine of War, maybe pull the arc, because the arc is walking towards this right side here. But there are so many 60 GT marches.
Only one master strategy per game, so...
Yeah, and there's so many 60 GT marches to where you could bring 30 marches here, but 60 GT, I feel like they have 30 marches as well. So I should make it an even fight for them. Yeah, well, I wonder what the play is. Oh, I see something, Chisco. No spoilers, but I see something happening here.
You see something happening?
Shrine of War of 1E8 to the left of it, there's a group of marches just sitting there. The left.
Yeah. No, they're going somewhere.
They're
on a
going
trip.
somewhere.
They're going
I don't know
somewhere.
if this is. I don't even think this is 60 marches though.
There it is.
I mean, I don't think that's 30 marches.
Master strategy. Right on top of the arc. Arc changing direction.
Look at the amount of players streaming into this Shrine of War as well. 60 GT. Are they going to go for the marches going for the Shrine of War? Or are they going to go for the marches and master strategies?
I feel like they should have swarmed that Shrine of War.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have left that open. Here it is.
Okay, so they have a lot of people for this master strategies, but they're getting sandwiched from the top here from 1E8.
This could buy the time they need. Arc is down. That's what they needed to do. Okay, so the arc is down. The fight is real. GT sending forces from the other side of the map. This is how you know they take it seriously.
Mm-hmm.
They got 10 marches coming from the left as well to support this already. It's a very good reaction from GT.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, the thing
This
is
how you do it.
Yeah, 60 GT. I haven't seen a master strategies actually be defended super well. This is actually pretty textbook. Just sending all the marches towards the master strategies, swarming down the marches there, and trying to make it one front. So now it's a one frontal war to the north here against all the marches from a 1E8, as the master strategies are starting to dwindle down for 1E8. But
1E8 had the arc. Arc is down. All they got to do is walk it in that building. They own the building. They're right on the doorstep of scoring this arc.
You just have to tap it into that building. We'll have to see if 60 GT is actually able to get the first tap, and they did. 60 GT
got the arc again.
They got the arc again. Yes, Chisco. This is going to be a huge pull from this Guan Yu.
I just don't think
Guan
there's
Yu,
enough
the
E8.
MVP.
There's not enough
Guan Yu, the
E8.
MVP of this match for that structure hold and the arc carry
Guan
here.
Yu, whoever says Guan Yu's washed up, they're wrong.
Oh my goodness. I like
Well-
the attempt from 1EA, but 60 GT, they just knew. They just knew this was going to happen. They knew this is 1EA's one chance to get back into this game,
Yeah.
and they responded.
Yeah. I feel like they tried to use this ability last game,
Hmm.
which kind of revealed that this is a thing that they were going to at some point do.
Yeah.
Plus, they've probably done it in other games. So GT just was kind of ready for it.
Yeah, I feel like that was such a close attempt, but they just weren't ready for it. Like 1E8 marches from the north were still walking as 60 GT was swarming down the master strategy marches. So what happened was 60 GT was essentially able to fight the bottom murder ball and then fight the top murder ball, which you kind of want both the sides of the sandwich to squish 60 GT together. But yeah, the decisive shot calling from 60 GT playing a crucial part to them holding this arc.
Wow. I mean, what a game. I don't think they score this arc. Oh, they scored it. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, no, they're like, yeah, we'll just score them now.
They heard you in the 12-minute delay. It's like, yeah, actually, we should score the arcs.
We should just run up the scoreboard. Especially
Yeah.
now that the Master Strategist play has been deployed.
Hmm. There's no secret trump card for unless you have sneaky tactics. But then, but yeah, it's looking really rough for 1EA. I like the attempt though. Like this game is a lot better from 1EA compared to the last one, the last Master Strategies tactic where they teleported out their marches.
Right.
This one had there was a pretty decent chance of success if it was timed a little bit better. I feel like they rushed it a little bit. There wasn't too much threat of 60 GT really capturing that arc at the Shrine of War, especially because 1E8 had the Shrine of War. So the timing was just a little bit off, but that's the type of plays that you have to, perform to perfection to win against a team like 60 GT. So
Right.
they tried it. They tried it, right? So
Was worth trying. I mean, you know what I've often said? is that if you're losing, playing to win sometimes means making really, really risky plays. And the chances might even be pretty low that you pull off the risky play. But if you do, and it's the difference between winning and losing, that is better than doing the plays that guarantee you continue on the same path toward your loss. Do you see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
rather go for the fences and swing for that win than lose slowly.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was a really good play. It just didn't work. And against many teams, it would have.
Yeah. That's the thing. 60GT was just so... I feel like they were so prepared for this match. They rotated to the Sky Altar in the beginning of the match. They knew from this play... They knew that 1E8 would try to get that first arc after they captured it, so they pressured the Desert Altar so that they would have full vision, and 1E8 would have to, respond to the marches swarming them down on the way to the arc. And then for this arc, they just knew that 1E8 didn't pop any skills mid, so that's a red flag. They're not trying to win the mid fight, so they're obviously going to try to do something with master strategies around the arc. So just sending a full murder ball around this arc at all times so that arc can be secured. So
yeah,
they've been able to answer the call every time.
Even if they hadn't used the ability in the last match, I would like to think that GT would have noticed no abilities used in mid and adjusted accordingly.
Yeah.
Like that is a strong signal that something's about to happen.
And that's what good teams do, right, Chisco? It's not how can we win, but how does our opponents win, and how to deny those things. The one way 1E8 came back into the match was the arc. So I was like, hey, okay, let's focus the arc then. Let's focus on capturing this thing. And it paid off. It paid dividends to them for sure.
Yeah, 100%. So from here, I mean, can you imagine if EE8 had scored that? What would the scoreboard look like if they had gotten that?
It would be so close right now. It'd be like 2K, 1K. And the thing about 1E8 is they're provisioning, so they probably could have made a difference with those provisions, but because 60GT was able to hold that, it's looking rough. It's looking rough.
Wild. Just looking around the map here for some excitement. Another Leopard Rally and Swarm on the Shrine of Life. With Salad in primary. Look at this. Leopard is all calves, bro. Do you see this?
Yeah. Full movement speed. I think that's really interesting for the outer lane, especially, right? You kind of want to have as much mobility as possible. So having full calves, I think it makes sense, right? Just so that after you capture the Shrine of Life...
He's got Xeno Captain, too. So like, the Saladin is actually cutting healing. Unreal. Yep, there it is. Saladin. New MVP of Osiris League 2023.
It's like we're watching Sobek right now.
Hey,
Saladin.
Dude, Sobek
we got Saladin, we got Ethelfled.
Cast. I mean, dude, it's all the old stuff. You reminisce of the good old days.
It was a throwback for sure when I casted Sobek last week.
What a throwback. Good swarm here on the Desert Altar, by the way. So 3 minutes to arc, by the way. Holy cow. We going to mid?
Yeah.
Oh, early engage.
1E8. Yeah, 1E8, early engage. It looks like some of these 60GT marches are actually sleeping here. So rare sleepy from 60GT here.
This could turn into something. This could evolve some way.
And yeah, this is around the time too where reinforcing would be when, like, if you sad face and come back, it'd be around when arc spawns.
This is exciting. I don't know that this is a great play. Like, to your point, I'm often the one who says if you attack too soon, you just give them a free refresh and weaken your marches. So I don't know about this. Feels really sus. And they don't have the vision they need to pull this off. Oh, yes, they do have the vision they need. Just kidding. That is their sentry. Oh, no, they know exactly what's here. Oh, man. Hiya.
It looks like they have some people murder balling, some people poking. I'm guessing it's like their cav players. Like they just have all their cavalry poking as much as possible. But 60 GT are amassing a murder ball here.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of want to keep the screen glued to like this position. Because this is where stuff is happening in a way that's just really unusual. I don't know that they've got enough disruption here, though. GT kind of needs to engage soon, though.
60 GT, it looks like they're starting to engage here. And 1 this split decision here. Some people fighting, some people around the temple. It looks like the call is to go towards this fight here. But as you said, Chisco, 1 minute left until Arc spawns. So 1 losing ground here. Did they push too early?
That's the problem with this timing. I think they've got a minute till Arc. Like if they can push this GT group away more, put their carriers on the far side of the temple. I don't know. Did that work? It might have. Oh. GT?
Oh, master strategies from 60 GT.
GT
Oh,
master
my
strategy?
goodness.
What? GT is saying, okay,
Wow.
2 can play this game.
This is how you sandwich. You try sandwiching us, we're gonna sandwich you.
How many marches are coming in? Oh, a lot of them.
Oh, that is a lot. Oh my goodness.
Yep,
Yeah, they're just all murder balled in. They're just all like on top of each other. That's a full 30 right there, Chisco.
Holy moly. Well, this just got way more exciting.
I love this skill. It's so good for the game. Just giving some extra flair, some extra surprise factor towards each game. How the teams utilize it, how teams use it. 60 GT using it. What probably happened is all the sad face marches that 1 had, they're like, okay, let's just murder ball up and then just master strategies our way there.
You don't see this every day. That's for sure. I mean, I feel like I'm putting master strategy on the bar next time I play Arc. That's for sure. This isn't... wait, is it new this season?
It's new this season.
Okay,
it's new with...
it was Sneaky
the Raging
Tactics
Sands
that was around before, right?
Yeah, Sneaky Tactics was around before.
Honestly,
there's no teleport skill before.
I mean, Master Strategist was cool and all, but EE8's got the Arc. Can you imagine if they... remember when I said they just need to sneaky grab a couple arcs? If they had actually taken the last arc,
actually won this mid fight.
Yeah, they won the mid fight, bro.
Wait.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
This isn't over? This comebackable?
It's not over. The fat lady is not singing. Wow. What happens now? So, GT is attacking from the right. So Arc needs to go left. What are they doing? Oh, I guess they just don't know. Wait, see what they see. What they see is, oh, I'll go. The thing is, though, I don't know. There's a lot of reinforcements coming from the left. I would take this Arc to the left based on the reinforcement flow, but what we know is just so much different. Yeah.
Oh, they're starting to see the marches now. Oh, gosh. Will they adjust?
These guys are not going the right way. The Arc is very vulnerable right now. The Arc is very vulnerable right now.
This is so funny because this is what 1E8 did to SV, which is my team.
Yeah.
Getting flashbacks right now.
Is E8 gonna get hit with their own trick? Looks like they're pretty exposed to it. Too many people just chilling in the middle. They even have people going forward, not backward. Like all these people in the middle are in the wrong place. There's just no, I see no reason to be there right now.
1 HP practically on this Arc carrier.
That carrier is gonna pop. Yep. Well, we got, okay, Arc Round 2. Go. Here it is. Second dark
Mid
fight.
fights 2.0.
Yeah. Yeah. I am having deja vu. Dust up. Oh gosh. Blotto. It's happening. Here comes GT. EE8's like, hold up. Wait a minute. About that arc. They don't have a lot more coming. They have people in the middle that coincidentally end up getting some value here, but they're in the wrong place still. This is not over. I still think this favors EE8. It's all the way on their side of the map, right, Plato? Like it still favors them. They're probably fine.
The reinforcements are so there's so much reinforcements for 1E8. CGT doing the smart thing and just capturing the altars on the left side because all the 1E8 marches on the left side are going to the right. So the points per minute, not to burst 1E8's bubble, is looking pretty dire even if they capture this arc. But it's just something, hey, we captured an arc against 60 GT. Not every team could say that. So
well, yeah. And if their master strategy play had worked, they would be winning.
They would be winning.
They would be winning.
It's crazy. Just like 10 seconds later, so that the 60 GT marches would actually be sandwiched, could have played the difference in this match.
Oh, yeah. So what you're saying is, if they had waited a little longer, they could have been more grouped up. And if they were more grouped up, they stood a better chance of winning.
They stood a better chance of winning, yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're saying now. I understand now.
Because the master strategies was popped, and all 60 GT had to do was run straight towards master strategies, and then the 1E8 marches reinforcing from the north came after the fight was established. But by that time, a lot of the master strategy marches were either low or sad faced already. So
yeah, wow, huge amount of EE8 on this arc. They're like, no, we're getting this arc. You're not
we are getting this arc no matter what.
I'm scoring this arc, and they should just score it right away. Like no reason.
Yeah. Yep.
7 minutes left in the match. Just
this is the final arc, regardless. So
yeah. So
there you go.
There's just one problem. Actually, I can name 4 problems, and they're all altars. That's the issue now.
That's the thing about 60 GT is they know how to trade really well. I think 60 GT, their shot callers are just so good because they adjust on the fly. Like what I see some teams do, they have a set game plan and they just do that game plan to a T without any adjustments. 60 GT adjusting to that mid fight, losing even with the master strategies is like, all right, let's do another master strategy, which is capturing all these altars, winning points per minute by almost double, triple what 1E8's getting. So even though 1E8 got the arc, which is, kudos to them, it's all altars are for 60 GT here.
Guan Yu. Oh, I thought I saw a Guan Yu captain. I was going to get excited again. Please. Guan Yu captain, more buildings. Even GT, by the way, using Xeno captain, putting some respect on that name.
Xeno is really, really good for these farther outs, I guess, enemy structure garrisons, because the biggest thing about Xeno that's really good is her healing factor allows her not to get sad-faced as much as, a Jan or a Flavius, where there isn't any healing. The healing factor actually makes it so that Xeno lives with about 1K units inside that march for a long amount of time. So all these structures is you want to hold them for as long as possible. And Xeno, with that healing factor, it's really underrated for a garrison captain when you're in a situation where you can't reinforce with another garrison captain right away. So as we see another Zenobia actually coming to the south of the Desert Altar, hashtag with a Xeno Flavius. So they even have a backup garrison for the Xeno.
Wow.
And a bunch of people filling. So that hashtag had to walk that Xeno for 3 minutes to get up here, and it's getting swarmed down by 1E8. I don't think it's going to be able to get into the structure in time.
No. I mean, like,
Uh,
level 1 is, hey, we can take buildings. Level 2
Mhm.
is, hey, we can take buildings and we brought a captain. And then level 3 is like, yeah, and we got backup captains.
Yeah. So they actually switched to Jan. So they even had a backup captain for the Zeno regardless. But the thing about Jan is it's way easier to pop out. And as you see, the Jan just got popped because of the lack of healing factors. So now Zenobia still has a place in the Osiris League meta for sure. Just not every single structure, but at least the ones where it's hard to reinforce. They could definitely be used there.
Wow. Well, I mean, let's just do a little math real quick. If that other arc had been flipped, I think GT would still be winning, actually. You add 3,500 points from the one for the one team, you subtract 3.5 for the other. I think it'd still be a GT win, but it'd be a lot closer.
These provisions, actually, I was told provisions were a big difference between how they won against GV.
Oh, so you think there's still a lot of sneaky provisions that have not been scored yet?
I think there's some provisions that haven't been scored yet, but it won't make it matter. It won't make a difference in this match. But if they captured that last arc, I think it might have made a difference. We'll have to see.
Okay.
We'll have to see once the provisioners come in. But yeah, I'm pretty impressed with 1E8 in this match for sure compared to the last one. A lot closer of a game. They were able to hold they're able to hold their structures really well. Like the only time their structures were really in 60GT's hands was during the mid fights when they'd go all in mid, and then 60GT would just have Leopard 5 March swarming all the structures. But yeah, I'm starting to see some provisioners from 1E8 starting to walk back now. I'll have to see if, as I said, the provisioners will actually make too much of a difference here. I want to see the dent that the provisioners have in the scoreline. Have you seen provisioning that much in this season of Osiris? I feel like it's gone down a lot because of the fog, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot harder to find the caravans because you can't see them with the fog. So a lot of teams, I've seen a lot of top teams actually not even have provisions. So
they abandoned it entirely because whereas before you could at least see where you were going, now you kind of have to know where the provisions might be, and you walk around kind of in the dark. You're literally blind to it. We've even seen teams try to drop vision in places where they might gain access to knowledge of where the caravans are. Like,
yeah,
it's way harder without vision to be able to go and get the caravans. I feel like it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if they made a change such that you could in fact see where the caravans are. I don't think that would be the worst. Although, I don't know, every decision has implications, right? So it's hard to say.
Yeah.
If you know where the caravans are, you could also send caravan killers to all the caravans too.
That's true.
So that I don't know if it ends up being a net positive. Actually, it's funny enough.
Yeah, the provisions came in, but it's not enough to win the game. But yeah, it's a good effort from 1E8, reigning champions 60GT. Just so hard to play against.
Oh wow, you're right. Those provisions are massive. They would have won.
Yeah,
that one.
Yeah, I'm telling you, their provisions. I was told a 5K point differential, and against GV or something. So they just instantly got 5Ks. GV thought they won with winning the last arc or something, and then they just won off provisions. So
yeah,
that master strategies play so close to working. They had control of that shrine. Just if they had enough people, maybe if one person tapped the arc was so close to that shrine. Chesco. Like, it was
Yeah.
literally right there.
It was, but
But-
at the same time, it didn't really feel like GT had ever lost field control. Do you see what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
They
yes,
didn't lose field
EA
control
had
for sure.
presence, but GT still had control.
The thing
Wow.
about 60 GT that's super impressive is, yeah, they just always know when to tap the arc. I feel like they always have first taps. So GGs to both teams for sure.
GG's to both teams. 176,000 for the MVP. BCK is the MVP, but 4,916 provisions for EE8. Wow.
Yeah, that's huge.
Unbelievable. They did get a little bit shredded in the kill count. They are down
Hmm.
by about 16 million. Not insignificant. And the occupation score for GT is commanding. Really impressive gameplay by EE8. I mean, look, the fact that they went toe-to-toe with this game and put up such a close score is so impressive.
Yeah.
Really, 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 really impressive. Evil Empire is the team to watch for sure. And I can only assume they'll be back next season with a vengeance. So congratulations to 60 GT on reclaiming your title for yet another season. Crazy. We'll be back next week. There is still a little bit more Ark of Osiris League to cast, right? Isn't it JST versus 93?
Game 3, JST 93T.
Game 3,
Super
baby.
close games. Yes, sir. This is going to be a really good one.
Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already so you don't miss out on it. Throw a like on the stream, and you can check out our channels in the description for Rise of Kingdoms videos designed to help you get value and smash your enemies. Until next time, you have fun smashing the kingdom, and we'll see you next week for round 3.